Morning. Welcome in to the Temple of Light. We are here we're just doing a little live stream for the Libra pink full moon. I'm wearing my pink. I've got my little earrings that I made on strawberry agate or strawberry quartz and agate with like a titanium aura quartz thingy pendant. Okay, so what we're going to do is to draw some oracle cards. I'm going to draw one card from the Moonology deck, one card from the Beyond Lemuria deck, and one card from the Mystic Martian Oracle deck to kind of feel out the energies that we're going to be working with. And then I'm going to drop into a reading with the Manga Tarot, the Mystical Manga Tarot. Because these are the cards that I have that I feel fit the vibe best for this kind of energy that we're stepping into here. So a full moon is a culmination of emotions, of lessons, of manifestations that are being brought into your view, into your experience. Pink Moon I associate with the song by Nick Drake, which is very winsome, dreamy. He was kind of a very mystical lyricist and songwriter, and kind of has his music and his persona seem to have kind of an otherworldly kind of quality to them. So this is a moon that particularly can open us up to a realm of romance, fantasy, not like in a Pisces way exactly, but like a very Venusian, yeah, kind of beautiful frame of mind, if we can allow that for ourselves. Okay? So given all of those things, we're going to just start with a few breaths. Hi, welcome in. Drop a hello in the chat if you're here. We're going to do a reading for the collective for the Libra Pink Full Moon. I just went over like the kind of energy that we're having with the pink moon, the kind of synchronicities that that I associate with it. It's very romantic, like I said, very mystical. A lot of Venusian things, so we're paying more attention to our beautification of ourselves inside and outside and our environment, harmonizing relationships in family, in our social life, in our business life. And I think we're getting some knowledge too, so we're getting lessons that are being brought to our awareness. Hi. And this is going to help us bring things in balance, to get a more balanced perspective on things and to have more compassion for ourselves and others. And yeah, so like I said before, we're going to draw some oracle cards, but first we're going to just kind of get connected into this energy of the Libra Pink Full Moon with the breath, okay? So let us take a deep breath in from your feet to your heart. Breathe in. And feel the breath collect there. Hold it. And then we are going to release it slowly through the mouth. We're going to breathe up a cord of energy from the center of the planet Earth. Okay, let's breathe in. From the center, through every layer of the crust, up your legs, up your spine to the crown. Let it collect there. And breathe out. Next, we are going to connect with source energy, the universe, God, your higher power, your higher self. Breathe in. Let your breath fill your body with light from head to toe until you're glowing. And then breathe out. All right, so now we're sending that light out in every direction, clearing out all negativity, obstructions, darkness, distortion, distraction in our energy field. All right, so again, welcome in to the Temple of Light. We are doing a reading for the full moon. I just want to show you guys also, I did this, I'm an artist, and I did this little notebook cover here. I painted it myself, and then I sprayed it with like the cover with a varnish. The rest is still empty inside. I left a little note, but the whole notebook is empty. So there you go. If anybody's interested in that, drop a comment, and yeah. Let's start first with the Moonology Oracle cards. Oh my gosh. I don't know if you guys can hear, but my mother is outside. Okay. Okay. Welcome in, people. All right. We've got adjustments are required. Third quarter moon. So this is when we are very near to the completion of our plans, the zenith of our goals or whatever, like the realization of things. Yet we can still do some tweaking about it, you know, like figuring out the last little odds and ends, dotting our I's, crossing our T's, making sure we didn't get that the other way around. Maybe, you know, we're very close to being in alignment with the things that we want or would wish to be open to if we're wanting to merge with a higher or the highest possible timeline for ourselves and others as well. So it's like we just have to go within and do some balancing work, some grounding work, a little bit of healing. Okay, but I'll look at the guidebook also. Let's take a look and see what she says. Thank you. Welcome, Michelle. Oh my God, I think she's probably dealing with spiders out there. That's the only thing I can think of. 36. That is page 36. That's a 9 energy. So that's completion, like we were saying. So we're right there. Think of yourself as a vessel that has been filled more and more over the past few weeks. Some of what has come your way may have been wonderful, but there is also a lot of negativity, and you need to let go of this. So it's a time to release and cleanse, okay? Whatever situation you're asking about now, be honest about whether there are toxic emotions involved which you need to release into the ethers. So let spirit handle it, okay? Like, you recognize it, you investigate or inquire with yourself about what it represents, what's it coming from within yourself, you know, if it's connected with anything in yourself, and really be honest, because you're not going to let yourself get away with that, right? And then, you know, do what you can, send yourself all the loving prayer and energy that you need, and then send it over to spirit, okay? This card also comes with the promise that all is not lost. However, there are changes or adjustments required before you will get to where you want to be. A change, of course, is forecast now that recent events have been understood and acted upon. There may also be a crisis now, which will remind you of what you want and what it's time to let go of, so pay attention. See, that's what I'm talking about, that exposure, that illumination here. Attune to the moon. I am reevaluating the situation. Additional meanings for this card. Your life may be out of balance, and this may be causing your issues. It may be time to hatch a whole new plan. Something new and exciting is around the corner. Trust may be required to move the situation forwards. And the teaching. At the time of the third quarter moon, we know where we have been, but where are we going? The moon is now a half moon and slipping away from us as she catches less and less light, moving towards her full disappearance at new moon. Okay, so this is after the full moon. So we're kind of like, we're not fully in the present either. We're kind of thinking a little too far ahead when we need to focus in on the present and get attuned to where we are at right now. Don't worry about where you're going. Focus on the now, what needs to be cleared out, released, and recalibrated. Okay. It's a time of falling away and a time to reevaluate. No matter when you draw this card, the teaching is to release and to trust. And then, you know, like, too, when you're doing that introspection, that reflection, and you go ahead and you're like releasing, repairing, whatever, and what have you, like that can actually lead to you being able to reevaluate things and reconsider things in the future that you were just not very clear on before and stuff. You're going to have a clearer picture. Okay, or at least you're going to be ready for that picture to emerge. All right, and let's draw another card. Let's go with the Beyond Lemuria Oracle. So this is a deck that has to do with the energies of Lemuria, which traditionally represents a fantastical time and place, prehistory, and nowadays in this age connected to legends of ancient civilizations such as Atlantis, Lemuria being like a polarity of Atlantis in a sense. So in that paradigm, Lemuria is full of these beings that were very highly evolved in their consciousness. Okay, I'm curious. Okay, so we got these cards. Okay, two popped out. So this is a very high vibrational deck, you know. It gets really into like 5D and higher kind of dimensions with the artwork and with the messages that it brings through, but it also can give good advice for the day-to-day and how to like kind of attune to those energies more. All right, so here I was just feeling cat energy so much today too. I'm gonna have to work with more cat energy. Okay, so we've got the Portal Keeper. Portals are gateways to other layers of reality. They can be accessed through inner practices or externally in places such as the planet's vortices. Gently explore the edges of your existence. Spend time listening in the forest. Deepen your meditation practice. Dance yourself into ecstasy. Explore psychic tools and study new healing modalities. If you feel lacking in purpose or life seems a little mundane, remember there is never a reason to be bored. What we experience with our physical senses is just the tip of the iceberg. Magic exists wherever you care to find it. Look between the lines to limitless discovery. Ta-da. And kind of the cats, you know, they give me a sense of like curiosity, being open to exploring these steps within yourself. Like find out, you know, make it a fun thing, make it an adventure, you know, like where's, and, you know, poke at it. When you see something like in you or in your experience, you can go ahead and poke at it and prod at it, right? To learn more about it. Cats are very sensitive, psychic beings. They have the ability to traverse through different dimensions and stuff through their sleep state, through their calm state. You know, they can see into the spirit world, and, you know, oftentimes they're looking at things that most humans aren't able to perceive through their visual senses. So, you know, they're highly evolved in certain areas, sometimes more so than we seem to be, you know. So trust your intuition, your curiosity, and yeah, get ready to explore. This is the card for Ether, the seamless, unspeakable. Hello again, people. We're going to read this, yeah? Blue color. So the pink color here we have for like the heart chakra, our creative side, our compassionate, romantic side, right? Friendship, love, okay? And this blue color is kind of giving throat chakra vibe. It's reminding me of kind of astral travel a little bit and Uranus energy. Okay, and we've also got kind of crown chakra vibe too from like the geometric patterns. And I see like the six-pointed star too, which again connects to the heart chakra. So this is like upper chakras kind of activation here. Okay, and whenever we're activating with the upper chakras too, we need to make sure that we're still grounded with our root, okay, with our lower chakras too, okay, so keeping things in balance, and the polarity of the pink and blue too, 16, 15, 15 I just saw. This illuminated space of no distraction and pure potential is beyond the threshold, and we were talking about the portals, and now we're through that threshold, okay? It is the centered and present place where all dreams are birthed. From here, you can choose where to go. What may be perceived as endless nothingness is the illuminated eternal, the core that all fears may be peeled back to. Step through the darkness and realize it is only a short distance from the white void at the center of creation. Herein lies the feeling you may have been striving to meet, yet subconsciously are running from. In graceful surrender, know you are held and drop deeper into existence. And that's kind of exactly just kind of reiterating what we're saying about the third quarter moon energy and stuff, being present, being centered in the present. And even while we're getting into these kind of higher dimensions, it's more and more important to make sure that we're staying grounded in our earth energy. Okay, let's take one more oracle card. And then we're going to do like we'll do a short, maybe, I don't know, we'll do a reading on with the Mystical Manga Tarot coming up next. These are the cards the decks that I've selected to assist in navigating this Libra pink full moon energy. Let us bring in messages for our highest good from our star being allies and friends. Let's go, baby. What's the universe want to tell us through the Mystic Martian Oracle? Tap in if you're new here with this reading and this energy by breathing into your heart space, okay? Okay, feel your energy clearing. Feel your chakras balancing. Okay, feel your crown opening up to higher messages. Okay, knowing that you are protected and safe and in a bubble of unconditional love from the universe and your higher self. Okay, and your ancestors, our guides. Email. Come on. Okay, here's one. Aha. Okay, we got the Nagas, 14. Lovers, erotica, sensuality. But it came out in reverse. So, I like this card. It's very earthy. This is Kundalini energy. There might be a blockage if we've got it in reverse here. I see kind of solar plexus. So this is giving kind of like the lower chakras and stuff. And I'll say that these chakras, they're called the lower chakras, but there's not, it doesn't make them more profane or any less important, worthy of attention, care, respect of that power, okay? Because it is the source of all the power. The base of the spine where the root chakra is where we hold so much ancestral memory, okay? Going back millions of years, all right? It is the seat of our innate, inherent wisdom, okay? The sacral chakra is where we have our inner child energy, our innocence, our playfulness, our sensuality, where we are first forming our connections with others, you know, in relationships, any kind of relationship, but especially it represents a sacred relationship between child and mother, mother and child. All right. It's also where the intuition kind of starts. Okay, and then the solar plexus is where we keep our personal power, our sense of confidence, our inner strength, our motivation. Okay, so that all together is like the essential components of vital of a being of vitality. Okay. All right, and we do have the other chakras also represented between the serpent bodies here. We've got the lower chakras all the way up to the heart, the throat, the third eye, and the crown. Okay, so this is encapsulating all of those energies. Okay, but I connected to the earth energy because of that serpent energy. let's read what the book says about it. I'll skim it in the upright, but I'm going to focus more on the reverse since it came out reverse. Let's skim the about the information page. Okay. Ancient Hindu and Buddhist texts speak of the semi-divine serpent beings called Nagas, which is Sanskrit for serpent. They are very powerful, beautiful, highly advanced snake/reptoid beings that are advantageous to humans, while also dangerously fearsome and temperamental if provoked. Okay, so then temperance energy too, balancing that kind of wild, ferocious energy. Okay, and male and female balancing, masculine, feminine. Okay. All right, the Naga's full form is fourth dimensional and not visible to the average low third vibrational human sensory perception. The Hindu epic poem, the Mahabharata, makes references to the Nagas. Okay. Many ancient iconographies and texts around the world depict powerful serpent beings, including Quetzalcoatl from Mexico, the rainbow serpent from Aboriginal Australia, and the Greek god Glykon and goddess Echidna. Okay. They mostly reside in the deep, dense oceanic waters or subterranean citadels away from human populations and are highly protective. So this is a time to kind of protect your energy too as well, or maybe you've been in that energy, and if it's coming like in a reverse, maybe it's time to kind of get out of this protective energy, not like in a way to completely drop your guard, but to kind of allow to yourself to be more open. Unlike walking, talking humanoids, the terra firma, Nagas are more comfortable inhabiting the subtle, sensual energy fields where they fluidly regenerate their inbuilt elixir of immortality from the depths of the ocean. Let me see here. I'll say sensuality, kundalini, sexual union, desire, vitality. That's there too. Reversed, we're going to say temperamental, lower chakra blockages, abstinence, sexual inappropriateness. Okay, so maybe this is a time if you are kind of not balanced to refrain from things that can be a little indulgent, okay, until you can get more imbalance, or to find a healthy way to kind of release that energy. Okay, yeah, so we need to work on our lower chakras. Let us get into some messages from the divine. We're going to use the Mystical Manga Tarot. Let's bring in a tarot message for you, beautifuls. Okay. Ooh, I see Seven of Wands. Standing your ground. Okay, kind of competition energy a little bit. There's that guardedness again also. Maybe feeling like we have to be on the defensive. And that there may be, there of course probably are reasons, valid reasons for feeling this way or having this perception. But like, this is a time when we're, you know, if we are being able to keep ourselves grounded and, you know, clear out those things inside of us and in our lives that are kind of drawing that experience to us or putting us in that frame of mind to have that perception, then like we're going to be more well oriented to like kind of coming out of that and being more open to more harmonious alternatives. Okay, it could be even the same people, the same situation on the surface, but like we are better able to, we have better capacity to be more welcoming to a more positive alternative. Okay, so okay, I'm going to, I like this. Four of Wands, Queen of Wands. We're going to start shuffling. I'm going to shuffle 8 times. And I'm going to draw 5 cards. So this is going to be a kind of simple reading here. It's going to show us where we're at. What's the issue? What Spirit needs us to see and be aware of. Some advice. And the likeliest outcome. I think that was 4. present, future, present, future. And I think that was it. Let's do one more just for good luck. I think I made the right choice too. Here we've got the Knight of Swords underneath. That's our underlying energy for the reading. Knight of Swords, messages, swift communication, action, okay, but it's been thoroughly thought through. Okay. This in this deck too, the booklet says that this is somebody that, you know, is in alignment with their truth, you know, and sometimes they forget that their truth is not always everyone else's truth. So we're gonna find out what's going on here. King of Coins. Justice. Awesome, 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 awesome. Things are coming into balance. That is our energy of this moon. All right. The things that are coming into our awareness. Nine of Wands. Again, that guarded energy. What Spirit needs you to see, be aware of. Okay. All right. I think that there is something coming, and I think we're feeling this tension as a result of that. It's a change, it's a shift, it's a completion of a cycle, okay? And this kind of has us on guard and stuff because there have been times where those changes have shaken things up in ways that were very uncomfortable, displeasing, unpleasant, and what have you. But, you know, let's see, the advice, surrender, okay? Hear the call. Listen to your intuition, your inner wisdom, okay? Hear the message, receive the message, okay? Big change, big decisions, reawakening, okay? Reawakening, resurrecting. And the outcome, Queen of Swords. Ooh. I like that. That's the Libra energy too that we're kind of in right now. And underneath the deck too, under the Knight of Swords, again, the star, and we have the Three of Cups also. So this is good, positive energy. We've got some like kind of weird energies just beyond that and stuff. So enjoy the good times and stuff. Of course, we want to be aware of potentials for discord and whatnot and chaos, but we can't let that drag us down. The energy is stronger on the side of big positive change, evolution, resurrection, reawakening, healing, coming into balance. All right, harmonizing, reunifying, all right, celebrating even. Okay, the energies are stronger on that side. So you have you to fully align with that, you have to embody it from within. Okay? No. That doesn't mean to suppress anything that says otherwise. Okay? You definitely should take a look and see what has like kind of a real expression and can be dealt with pragmatically and in a concrete way, and what is emotional and or psychological or spiritual and can be dealt with in a kind of more therapeutic way. Okay? All right. So King of Coins, this is a good solid energy. We are focused on our work, on our output. I kind of heard saying our productivity, not just the action, but the results of said action. Okay, what we are using to build with. Okay, our values and our value. Justice, the crux of the matter. Again, karmic energy, Saturn, lessons, balancing. Okay, things coming into balance. I'm drawn towards the chains and stuff, so we want to kind of like the only constraints like the only constraint is like the universal law, all right, and which is kind of vast and complex and yet very simple and straightforward and again, like I said, universal. So There we go. Um, I just heard too, limits can help, can generate expression too. Okay, Nine of Wands. We're in the ocean. We've got the wands coming up. Okay, so we were talking about the deep ocean with the Nagas energy. So I feel like there is a lot that's coming up from the subconscious, from that well of instinct, survival. Maybe you had been in survival mode for a significant portion of your life, whether it was a long time ago or you're at the very end of this period or you're going towards a different phase and stuff. It could be a time that is bringing up these things from the depths, okay? And you might feel like you need to prepare for battle a bit. And in a way, yeah, but you don't have, I don't think it's anything that you need to look at in kind of an adversarial way about yourself or what's happening going on, okay? I think you can meet it instead of like that kind of wounded warrior energy that we see a lot with the Nine of Wands. You can have kind of this more, you can build up your confidence, be assured of your competence, your adeptness, your ability to handle what's coming up, okay? Be strengthened in the things, the lessons that you've learned, and the skills and the strategies, the perspectives, and that you have won from these experiences, even if they were very difficult. Because that's kind of the feeling that I'm getting. Like when we go through a situation where we're having to push a lot down, it's really not a good situation. you know. So I feel for you. Yeah. Those are not the greatest times of our lives, generally, that we want to suppress all the feelings from, you know. Unless there was like a really, unless we're talking about grief, then that can really cause us to want to forget and push down those more pleasant memories of a different time that we can't go back to. So if that could be involved as well for some of us, okay? So know that you are seen, all right? And sending out love, okay, to everybody that's having these big feelings or memories or situations kind of come up into our awareness right now. Okay, so again, so this is kind of like what this is showing me that this is kind of resurrecting the old self that had to be tied down with the chains. Okay, this is re connecting with those parts of ourselves, sorry, that we had to let go of or suppress, okay? This is an opportunity to lay to rest the kind of traits that we had to take on in order to make it through whatever trials that we were going through. Okay, so there are things that we're not necessarily burying, but we're allowing ourselves to release, and there are things that we're allowing ourselves to reintegrate into our embodiment. Okay, there's and like I was saying too, I got this flash to this reawakening thing that I was saying. So it's like we're sending that awakening energy that we've been able to receive on our journey to past parts of ourselves so that they are not in confusion anymore. So it's kind of like, even though we're talking about being present and centered and stuff, when we're coming, when things are coming up to our awareness, it can be kind of like a way of time traveling. Okay, we are revisiting events or feelings that we experienced, and we are, able to give ourselves a perspective that we didn't have. And who knows, that could possibly even be the way that you got through it in the first place, was because you went back in time and you gave yourself this subtle instinctual awareness, of something else that is guiding the situation. Okay, And that could give you the peace and the strength to move on and to survive through those times. Okay, no matter what it is that you had to go through or had to do to get through it. Okay, so congratulations. Okay, that's the advice, is to, again, like I said, go through that reawakening, that resurrection process within yourself, reintegrating old parts of yourselves that you had to suppress or hide, and releasing things and traits, personalities, people that you had to have, embody, or be around in order to get through those more difficult situations, because those energies can still be holding you to those timelines, those energies from the past that you don't really want to hang on to anymore. Okay, and then the outcome is the Queen of Swords. Yes, there may be some pain from the losses in that, or some discomfort, but you're going to have a lot more clear perspective. You're going to have much more strength in enforcing your boundaries, and the people that make it through those boundaries are going to become I'm hearing like and seeing kind of like part of your inner circle that are also in your protective bubble as well, you know. And I think the Queen of Swords is a great balance to that King of Coins energy, you know. So it's not just about our actions, it's about our thoughts. Okay, so you're finding that out and stuff, is that when you while you're trying to focus on all these actions in the earthly realm, there's these emotional, spiritual things that are coming up for you to integrate, clear, all of that stuff. So, and to recalibrate your mental space as well. Okay, so I gotta actually run. It's getting time for me to go on to my other parts of my life right now. I'm wishing you all the best. Okay, and I'd like to try and come back later. Okay, thank you so much for joining me. Let's take another breath in. Okay, together. Breathing up into the heart and breathing out. Thank you. Have a good one.